Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jonah, your spiritual guide. I'm here to talk about spirituality. Like I always used to say, that the spiritual control the physical. Life is spiritual. Life is spiritual. Witchcraft are real. Witches are real. Yes. And that is why the Bible says that since the days of John the Baptist that the kingdom of heaven suffered violence and the men of violence took it by force. You are not going to be romancing your problem with tears. Enough is enough. They have been celebrating your problem for a very long time. They have been celebrating your pain for a very long time. Yes, these people are not far from you. These people could be for your family or for your husband's family. Or it could even be a joint armed forces. Yes. So this is what I want you to know. That most of those things that are happening in your family are no longer natural, but rather they are spiritual. Because the Bible says that if there is any man that is going to serve even God, he must serve God in truth and in spirit, because God is a spirit. Yes. At times, you might even see a family facing a lot of problems, crisis everywhere. The enemies must have gone ahead of you. They must have buried something in your family, in your house. Today, I'm going to teach you on how to destroy charm, powers within your house, within your compound. If they have buried anything in your house, this is the prayer you are going to do to destroy everything. This is the prayer you're going to do, and the spell and the power will bounce back. Yes. It will repel every evil, to repel any evil that must have done in your family. Sometimes you don't even understand your children, the way your children are behaving these days. Your children are behaving strange. You think it's ordinary. Someone is working against you. Someone somewhere doesn't want you to enjoy your children, the fruit of your children. Someone doesn't want you to enjoy your children. And sometimes they will go to their coven and make an oath that as long as they are still alive, you will never enjoy your children. And you are still sitting down, my sister, my brother. You think that attitude, that behavior that your husband is portraying, showcasing, you think it's ordinary. It's no longer ordinary. Someone somewhere is working against you, not to allow you to be happy. The same thing happened to the husband. You think that attitude that your wife has been giving to you, you think is ordinary. It's not ordinary. Someone is working against you. Someone doesn't want you to live happily. Someone somewhere doesn't want you to enjoy your marriage. This is the prayer you are going to do, my brother. But before you do this prayer, like the way I always used to say, make sure your hands are clean. Make sure you are that kind of person who has never killed someone before. Make sure your hands are clean. Make sure that you have never committed abortion before. Make sure you have never given money to a woman to go and commit abortion. Make sure that you are that kind of person who has never showed to the hospital for someone to go for abortion. Someone who showed the direction. If you are that kind of person, your judgment, your sin are equal. So if you're that kind of person, there's a prayer you need to do before you start any of this prayer. You can contact me and I'll show you how to do this prayer. Just only one prayer, and just only one night's prayer, and you will be very okay to embark on that prayer. The reason why most of the times we bring this secret is because, especially those who are Christians, we say that once someone receives Christ as his Lord and personal Savior, is a new creation. All things have passed away. Listen to me, my brother. It is true things that pass away. And if you should die, you will see Jesus, you will make heaven. But you will never enjoy the treasure of this world. You will never enjoy the riches of this world. You will never enjoy the peace of this world. Because God has given us the four natural elements. Yes, the earth, the water, the fire, and the wind. I repeat, the earth, the air, the fire, and the water. And all these four natural elements forbid the shedding of blood. You remember what happened in the Bible between two brothers, Cain and Abel? When one of them killed his brother, the earth was speaking against him. The earth refused to produce wealth for him. The earth refused to produce crops for him. Yes. And that is why today we have struggling ministers. You can see a pastor having a church, 20 members, 30 members, 50 members, and he's not growing. He does not have house of his own. Even land, he doesn't have land of his own. He doesn't have car of his own. He's not living, the way it should. He's struggling in poverty. It is not the desire of God for his servants to suffer, to live in abject poverty. If you are a man of God, if you are a man of God, you have to live in happiness. If a pastor is not progressing, what do you think will happen to the members? If a pastor is not prospering, what do you think will happen to the members? Yes, because it flows from the top to the bottom. That is the truth. Life is spiritual. Maybe that pastor must have maybe contributed in abortion before. Or maybe he must have killed someone before. Or maybe he's that kind of pastor that doesn't want people to prosper, to progress. Or once someone is prospering, he's jealous. This prayer will never work for you. Praying with natural things will never work for you. Before these natural things will work for you, you have to do a prayer. There's a prayer I will show to you, which you are going to be totally free from that bondage. As long as you are alive, you will never see, the earth will never produce wealth for you, will never vomit wealth for you. Because everything you will use in this world comes from the earth. Then how do you want to go beyond the victim of what is morally and legally acceptable when you are still in bondage? There are so many sisters, brothers and sisters, they speak in tongues, they pray like never before. They do all the church activities, all the spiritual exercise, they carry it on, yet nothing good is happening to them. Some of them are still battling to get married. Some of them are still battling to get a job. They even sow seed, huge amount of seed, thinking they are going to see light at the end of the tunnel, yet nothing is happening. My sister, if you are that kind of person, if you know you have committed abortion, if you know you have killed someone, if you know you are that kind of person that doesn't allow people to prosper, call me. I will show you the prayer you are going to do. And once that prayer is done, you are totally free. And you will begin to see the goodness of God upon your life. You will begin to see the favor, the mighty hands of God upon your life. And that is why some people always used to say that natural things doesn't work for them. Yes, we hear such stories. That some will say that we use natural things and it never works for us. It could be one of those problems. Open up and the Lord will help you. Now, on what I'm talking about, on how to break that powers. Once someone in the spiritual realm went and buried something in your house, once that is buried, expect enough problem in your house. Now this is how you are going to destroy it. But before I proceed, I would love to introduce my product. I produce cost breaker soap. I produce back to sender soap. I produce favor soap. I supply Abo Obo powder, the anti-witchcraft powder. That is Abo Obo powder. It fight against witches. I also supply the Ignila powder. This powder fight against witches. If there's any man or woman that is using these powders, that very person can never be intimidated by witches. I also produce produce a favor soap, business soap. I also produce spiritual perfume. A lot of spiritual products I produce. So if you're in need of any of materials, you can contact me and I will be very happy to supply any of my product to you. If you are within Nigeria, you can call 08062408467. If you are outside Nigeria, you can call +234 8062408467. Now I proceed. You are going to require 2 natural items. In this channel, we are using natural things to pray. You need 2 natural items. Number 1, you need a native egg. Yes, you hear me right. A native egg. Number 2, you need palm kernel. Now, once you get that native egg, you are going to hold it close to your mouth and begin to pray. You will pray. Once you are done with the prayer, you are going to break that native egg in a container, in a bowl. Then you pour the egg inside the container. Before you pour that egg, before you pour that, you break that egg. The first thing you're going to do, you are going to get a little quantity of palm kernel oil, the original palm kernel oil. Now you're going to pour that palm kernel oil in your container. Then the next thing you're going to do, you're going to break the native egg. Once you break the native egg, you are going to use your middle finger to spin the egg clockwise, not anti-clockwise. I repeat, you are going to spin the mixture clockwise. As you are mixing the mixture clockwise, you are spinning it clockwise. You are going to open the book of Psalm. The book of Psalm, chapter 35, verse 1 to the end. As you are spinning it, you are going to start reading Psalm 35, verse 1 to the end. You are going to read it all. Once you are done, make a declaration. Once you make your declaration, go and dig a hole within that your compound and pour that egg inside and close it. What shall see? In between 2 to 3 days, you will see what is going to happen in your house. You are going to see what is going to happen in your family. And at the end, you give God the glory. But remember, as I always say, make sure you pray. Make sure you pray. Never forget to pray. Prayer is the key. Those things can never work for you if you refuse to pray. Make sure you pray. Don't forget to pray. If you like this video, please you can give me a like. Yes. And it also encourages me when you subscribe. And by so doing, I'm going to encourage me to produce more projects for you. Remain blessed. Amen.